look at mixing the guys. You know what I mean? When you get a group and you've got a group of returning guys that went to the College World Series, then you bring in a bunch of new guys, freshmen and all that. How has it gone with this group, do you feel like?
Well, I think it all plays out, right? It'll all eventually play out. Yeah, the combination of some young and some old, some returning guys. You got some junior college guys and a couple portal guys. So time will tell on that. Yeah, obviously the start of it, everybody feels good about what's happening, what's going on until that first pitch is thrown, and then from there the adjustments will be made.
What's it like to coach two bona fide stars in the outfield in Zion Rose and Lucas Moore?
Well, it's comforting, right? But we've had this before. Like I said, when I first got here, man, we had guys like Corey Ray, Colin Lyman, Ryan Summers, Taylor. I mean, we had some guys. So the good thing is, I think it's the guys behind it, right? I mean, even for guys like Lucas Moore and for Zion Rose to come in and be around an Eddie King, right? And now, obviously, Eddie moves on to the pro ball. Those two guys take a step forward. I'm thinking of the guys even behind, right? The guys collectively that can help behind. You're talking about guys like Kyle Campbell. You're talking about Griffin Crane and even our young guy, Porter. So, like I said, I think those guys will benefit. Those two guys have taken the leadership role and to move forward. But, again, those guys will benefit as well from it, those young guys.
What is Lucas, what do you kind of, when he had a year like he did last year, what do you work on? What do you try to get better? I mean, is it consistency? Is it more of little things?
It is. It's consistency, and it's more of even taking more of a leadership role, right? So, yeah, that guy takes a step forward. What he did last year, it's no surprise. I mean, that guy come to work each and every day, consistently wants to be better, and he does. But again, like I said, yeah, it's being consistent, and it's improving on those things, and like I said, moving forward and putting himself in the best position daily.
Eric was talking about, like, Mac makes the lineup, but you all do suggestions and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. In the outfield, you have a lot of dudes out there. How difficult will it be to get guys out there?
It's a good problem to have, right? And again, I think that just goes a testament to those guys and how hard they work. The good thing about, you see the Lucas Moores and the Zion Rose, and you got a guy like Slanker that comes in. Some older guys that have had a lot of playing time. Yeah, you lean on those guys, right? You lean on them. You keep coaching on those guys, and you keep loving on those dudes. But also, you turn to those younger guys. Again, the benefit of those younger guys. I just love the depth in our outfield. At any given point, that's the good thing about, like, Snide and I, we talk about it all the time. Our goal is to make sure when Max says, all right, guys, and starts naming names, put them in there. They're ready to go. They're ready to compete. So, yeah, that does help. That does help having that leadership in the outfield. But like I said, those younger guys, they should reap the benefits of it too.
With Zion, obviously everybody knows what he can do at the plate. What did you see from him last year out in the outfield and his progression and learning the position and how he developed out there?
He just showed up each and every day. Right. I think it had even spread amongst the team, right? Just getting better each and every day with it. It wasn't bad. It was not natural. Obviously, when he first makes the move out there young, but man, he just showed up each and every day. And the good thing about it is when your players are like that, when you talk about your guys, your dudes, all those other guys fall right in line behind. That's how you create it. You just keep stacking days on that, and that's how guys continue to get better.
We've heard about Griffin Crane, and you mentioned him a couple of times. Tell us about him and what kind of we should expect, and how good can he be down the road?
Yeah, I'm excited for Griffin. I mean, obviously the health was his number one thing. He's fully healthy now. He competes. He's got a hockey background to him, so he's got some toughness in there. Loves the game of baseball. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for him, because again, he's a true competitor. Obviously, offensively, he made some really good strides within the last year. Goes and plays in the summer, has a good summer, comes back. And like I said, just a real mainstay in the outfield, real plus defender out there with a good solid arm as well.
What have you seen out of Slanker since he's arrived on campus?
Growth. I mean, he shows up in here, and again, obviously there's a skill set, right? But again, he shows up. And he's talking, he's learning, he's doing some things that he hasn't maybe done in the past, but he's had the real willingness to learn, and that's what I'm really encouraged by moving forward with Ben Slanker.
Offensively, you've got a newcomer that's getting a lot of buzz in Cade Elam. Can you talk about what he's, I guess, shown since he's arrived here on campus?
Yeah, I think he's fallen, I say in line, but I mean, he's around the dudes, right? And again, he's a guy who loves being on the field. He loves being in the hack shack. He has the willingness to learn. It's not, here I am, I'm a finished product by any means. So he's got that about him. and he just loves the game. I mean, he loves the game. You watch how he practices as a young player. It makes you smile. I mean, that guy's obviously going to have some progression as he continues to develop and get older. But for me, it's the thing about him showing up each and every day, and that really entices me and really makes me happy seeing him develop.
Oh, sorry. What were some of the things that you noticed last year about last year's team that were different than maybe a couple, maybe the 2 prior years?
I think it was the players took over. I mean, really, truly, the players took over down in the locker room, and they went right up onto the field. So obviously, the coaching part of it, man, they were very receptive. But it really got internal. Like those guys each took care of each other. They challenged each other. They knew what they wanted. They obviously know what the expectation with the program is. But man, they took it to another level.
For program momentum, how big was it to get back to Omaha last year?
Well, we love Omaha, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what program hasn't. And if you haven't reached, obviously, that's where everybody's trying to get to that pinnacle. So, that's the goal. You want to have a chance to compete for a title, and getting to Omaha puts you into that mix. So, yeah, it was big for us to get back into that. Obviously, we're talking about this year's program, but even for those guys that are back here, to obviously have the impact for the younger guys and the guys that have stepped in here from the JUCO ranks or the portal ranks, to kind of help those guys. Like, this is how we get there. This is how we take the next step forward. So even for me, working with the outfielders and hitters and being around it, even talking to the pitching staff, like I said, what's been great for me is hearing that these guys want more.
Both you and Snyder kind of mentioned how much last season this was a player-led team, especially down the stretch.
Yes.
Do you see elements of that with this team, probably with all the guys that are coming back?
Yeah, I see it. Yep, I see it in the way we practice and the way we do our early work. It's like I said, for me, what's great about it is, yes, they want to be coached, they want to be great, but again, that other aspect of them taking over some ownership, and they talk about owning it, right? Owning it down in the locker room, taking it onto the field, and like I said, you can only go so far from a coaching staff standpoint. Eventually, these guys got to take over, and I like where we're at with that.
People look at Lucas as a center fielder, obviously he plays it so well, but how big is it for other guys to be able to play multiple positions?
Well, that's just big. It's key, right? I mean, obviously we saw what happened with Matt Klein, who goes down for a little bit last year, and guys maybe shifting the lineup or maybe shifting rotations and that stuff like that. So for me, it's big. You got to have guys out there. Like I said, the depth in our outfield, I feel really good about that. God forbid something were to happen, he's got guys that can play behind. And I think that just obviously speaks to the players that are being brought in here, but the development within. I make it a real stress, the coaching staff, to move these guys around in the fall time, even in the early spring, to move some certain guys into different positions just to get that experience, to get that. So everybody typically plays center field, right, in high school and all that. But, yeah, whether it's center field, left, and right, I mean, we're constantly moving these guys around.
How has Zion progressed as a defender out there in left?
Oh, he's gotten better each and every year, like I said, to me, what helps is obviously how good he wants to be. He shows up each and every day wanting to get better at that. And that rubs off on everybody else. So, yeah, a guy who's been behind the plate most of his career slides into the outfield, wants to be really, really good. It's just not going out there just to do it, but obviously wants to excel at it. And he's become a real good defender out there for sure.
How do you describe Lucas Moore's speed and what that does, not only defensively but also on the base paths?
It puts a lot of pressure on others, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. And my big thing for these guys, obviously getting reads off the bat, but obviously when you can make up some ground with speed, that always helps. That'll always translate. You go on the road, and whether it's putting bunts down, whether it's stealing or running balls in the outfield, that'll always show up. So it's always a good thing to push others, right? You can always get bigger, stronger, faster, for sure.
All right, guys.
All right.
Yep.